Hey guys, Wes again. Mini chopper. I know you might be sick of this thing by now, but this is what I'm doing. So, what I've got is I want to put a headlight on it. So I went out to my local 20-mile away battery supplier and I got this cool AGM Duracell. And I got some hardware from the hardware store to mount it. And so there's already a hole right here, and I did test fit the what do you call it, the headlight. This thing's pretty sweet. I think it's like a car fog light thing. So my plan is to put the battery down here, drill a couple holes with use that all thread and some nuts, and then I got a toggle switch somewhere. I'll have to find it. Then I dug through my stuff, found a toggle switch that I like. Oh no, it's right here. So it's a cool old toggle switch. I'm not sure what it's at. It works really good. And my plan is to, I got it in this washer. So what I'm going to try to do is take this washer and weld it right there. A couple little tack welds. And then, I don't know if you ever, probably not. This thing, the dash lights up on this thing, and the speedometer works, and this voltage gauge actually works too. And I think in the original bike it had turn signals, but all that stuff's gone. But I could get this 3 gauges to light up, would be kind of cool. And it'll have a voltage gauge even though it's broken. You can still tell where you're at. So what I have to do is I tape this up before. I'll have to split all this, wire it up, put the toggle switch on, mount the battery. Oh, on a side note, I finally did something with this corner of my shop. I watched that guy, My Custom Go-Karters, I think that's the guy's name, and he kind of inspired me to... This corner has just always been chaos. I don't know if you probably can tell from the background. It's always been just random. And now it's kind of nice, since I made this bench, ignore the old TVs, I can get to some of my stuff that's been hoarded back here. My pipe bender, my chop saw, and a bunch of my steel that I had in this corner. So, and I did an inventory of all the other stuff that I had that I forgot I had. So, I think the first thing I want to do is try to get the battery mounted. So, let's try to mock that up. Okay, so this is like the best place I could think of to put this. So, what I'm going to do, kind of center that, and I'm going to drill a hole here, and then another one over here, like straight across. I hope that's straight across. And then I'll take this all thread that I bought, some pretty skinny stuff. I'll thread it in through there. And I got some wing nuts. I got another piece of steel that I'll run across the top of the battery to hold it in place. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way too much of doing oil changes, like I do those all the time. Okay, I did move this dot over because it didn't look straight to me. Oh yeah. Really tight quarters here. Hopefully this fits. Yes, it does. Oh. There's one. Let's go around the other side. There's a pilot hole. And what are the chances this thing just fits through a little bit more? So I got this gauge here, fancy, 3/16. So that would be like the third one. It's a little bigger. This is metric, but No one's paying attention. It's a little longer. Hope this fits. Is this thing even working? Yeah, that's working just fine. I think I went too far. That's fine. Give me some adjustment. There we go. Oh, there's that. 2 holes. Okay. So now I'm going to take this thing. It's a 12-inch piece. I'm just going to cut it in half. Roughly. Doesn't need to be perfect. I can't even see that. Yeah, I can. Silver marker on a silver bolt. Genius. And yep. Not bad. Bandsaw does a pretty clean job of doing this. Better than a grinding cutoff wheel, I'd say. Alright, in this, I have a couple of nuts. I got a couple of just regular nuts because I was going to be smart and put it on here before I cut it and clear the threads. I didn't do that because I'm an idiot, so watch me just struggle with this. Go thread all the way through. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Oh, come on. Come on. So it should be a little resistance. Oh yeah, see, that's not bad at all. That goes right back on. So I got a bunch of locking nuts. I also got wing nuts in case I want to do wing nuts. I'm not sure if I'm going to do wing nuts. Just see if this just goes right on. Here, it does. That's why I like the bandsaw. So we'll start by, I'm just going to put some locking nuts on the bottom side. Yes, how are we going to do this? I guess I could vice grip it here because no one cares. Yeah, I got me some little tiny vice grips. They're real close here, so because I'm not going to use that side. That'll be, what you call it? Right next to the battery. Ow! There's that one. That's the end I cut there. This one on. Just enough where it starts engaging the nylon. Right there. Well, I know I can do with those other nuts. I could set them, but now that I vice gripped it, it's going to be awesome. I can have them locked down to the to the angle iron. Let's see how bad I messed up the threads. How many times can you watch me do this? Here's where the vice grip was at. Oh, it's it's fine. It's fine. I gotta take it off though. Alright, so let's get this set up on the bike. I kind of got a game plan. I should probably find a piece of steel and measure it for the top. Okay, I found this piece of galvanized 1/2-inch strap. I believe this is from like a cyclone fence or something. We'll just make a little mark there. See if I can get underneath here. Mark through my holes I drilled. See how that worked. Didn't work at all. So we'll just kind of eyeball it. One there. One there. Back to the bandsaw. Let's drill press it first. Or I could just drill it with the, no, drill press. Oh, this is a nice punch. I got another Harbor Freight one. Oh, doesn't work as good as that. nice and centered. Man, these bandsaws, can't recommend it enough. Cheap. You got to get the right blade. I've gone through like 4 or 5. I like the, what is it, the one with 18 teeth per inch. Okay, I'm rambling. Okay, so what I want to do before, because if you see here, you know, steel, not good. So I got this roll of cheap heat shrink. I'm just going to cut a piece off and see if I can get this to slip on here. I don't know if this is the right size. Should be fine. Yeah, yes. And we're just going to heat shrink this, and this will prevent any unwanted shorting of the battery. It's working out pretty nice. And the color is good, I might add. Just like that. So now, let's test it. Bzz, bzz, nothing. We're good. Just for now still, I'm going to put this little covery thing back on because we're still in mock-up mode. Okay, I got this chainsaw file because I went to put this in there and it's all on a, it was all like you know, just like that. It's on an angle. So I'm going to just file this a little bit till the clearance is better. Hopefully it still fits. I'll file the other side if I need to. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so the battery kind of hits these little nuts. You know, dumbing on my part. So I went out and found an old car tire that would exploded. And I cut a chunk of car tire. These are a little bit long. So I think this would work now. I think if I get this, those holes are tight. Oh, what? Well, I gotta clearance this hole just a little bit. Yeah, just took the same thing and clearanced them. And now we're good. So I got a couple of washers will go on, and a couple of wing nuts, just for cleverness. Let's scoot it back just a little fuzz. Yeah, we're mounted. So now that I got a pretty solid battery mount, we'll work on the wiring. Well, actually, let's weld that toggle switch on first. Yeah, this is gonna work. Here we go. Doesn't look too bad, really. Alright. Now I gotta get the welder out. Well, oh, can you see? Barely. I'm gonna weld this onto the little metal bracket here for the gauges. And weld this washer on there. Yeah. That should do it. It's actually pretty centered. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Take it apart. Keep it away from the... There's no gas in this thing anyways. It's fine. Now a closer view of my 2 tack welds and a washer. I think that'll work just fine. Okay, well, let's mount the battery on. Now, I did kind of mock this up, and I found it like an ideal bolt for this. Because it didn't have, I don't know, somebody had like a self-tapper in their truck. I'm not even sure where I got this. I think my son gave it to me. And he doesn't, well, it's starting to get windy. He doesn't do the, he's a pretty smart kid, so I don't think, I I don't know where this came from. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I think it looks really slick though. It's a really slick looking headlight. Ah, yes. Yeah, see? Pretty cool, huh? It's not too gaudy, you know? I think it won't use a lot of power. So, oh yeah, and the thing I wanted to talk about is I'm not having a charging system on this thing right now. So I think what my plan is, for now I'm going to get a battery tender and just plug this thing in, which is fine. But eventually, in a later video, I'm going to get the charging flywheel and the charging dealy jiggers to go under the flywheel for this engine. I found them on eBay. It's kind of expensive for a mini bike project, but I think this thing kind of deserves it. So eventually I will get a charging circuit and then we'll revisit this. So for now, I gotta peel all this apart. Oh, and I use that really cool cloth tape, you know, that's awesome. So this is kind of... So give me a minute, let me get this all stripped down, and then I'll come up with a game plan on how we're going to wire this thing. Okay, what I've got here is a couple lengths of 14 gauge wire. Red for positive, black for ground, obviously. So what I've done is I put butt connectors on the end, and then I heat shrink them with some marine grade, you know, with the glue inside, heat shrink. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to put them on there, kind of get them loosely taped and get them fed up to the front, and then we're going to start testing the see, I got all these stripped. I'm going to see what does what here. I used to know a long time ago, but you know, I don't know anymore. So let me get this kind of ran just in like a testing phase, and then we'll see what's what. You probably see this better than I do, but what I've done is I've loosely attached the ground wire to this harness. And we're just going to go through and see what's what here. Well, that's the, okay, the red one is the voltage gauge. You see that move? And it says we have plenty of voltage. That's good. And now yellow. Well, yellow is right turn. You probably won't use those. There's the dash lights. Whatever this brown is dash lights. So this is one we're wanting. And then what's this? Left turn. So these two are left turn. We don't need these. We're just going to need red and brown, which will be voltage and dash lights, which is going to be cool as heck, having dash lights in this thing again. Can you see that? Pretty slick. I mean, I could just have both those bulbs on, but I think it might just be wasteful power-wise. It'd be brighter. No, I'm just gonna, so brown and red, blue and yellow, I might just cut them off and leave them in the harness. So now there's that. So now we can also test the headlight. See how well it's going to work. I have tested this before because I wouldn't do this unless I knew it would work. Boom, look at that. Can you see how bright that is? Kinda, maybe? Awesome. So now, what I plan on doing here is I'm going to use a negatively switched system. So, what I might do, I might just kind of fast motion a lot of this. I'm going to try to run the wires and then tape them up, and then we'll see what it looks like with all the switch and everything. The switch here, you know, we can actually test that real quick. So what I'll do is I'll hook this to the ground like I'm going to do, and then I could take this positive and go here, and take this negative and go here, and see if this works. Yes. And that's how I'm going to run it. Negatively switched. Which to me seems like the most advantageous way of doing this. So let's disconnect the hot But all right, I'm just going to start building this wiring harness. I got a bunch of these heat shrink butt connectors that I think will work really well. So let me let's do this. Okay, somehow I did it. I only messed up once. You know, you gotta waste one butt connector, that's how it works. So I've got the negative coming out of the battery, into the switch, out, into the headlight, and the dash ground. These are the two turn signal wires that I had the lights reversed when I said what they were. And it works. Dash lights come on, voltage gauge right there showing. It's weird there's no dash light on the voltage gauge side, but what do you do? And the headlight, nice and bright, so cool. So now I'm going to take I got a couple of different types of tape here, whatever I feel like. Just your regular electrical tape, and then I have that cloth electrical tape, and I'm going to tape it up, trying to make it look nice. Put the tank back on before I rip the fuel line off, because it's pretty tight. Cool. Alright, let's check it out. Oh yeah! Oh, that is cool! I wish this light worked. Maybe there's a bulb. I might open it up later. Alright, let's turn some lights back on. Okay, there's lots of lights to turn on. Oh, the sun's coming out. It just was pouring down rain. Alright guys, I think that's it. I think this is the last video I'm doing for the mini chopper for a while. I don't know, people are probably getting sick of it, but I like it. Yeah, but it turned out pretty good. All said and done, it's all wrapped. You can kind of see the wires here, through there, whatever. I wrapped them down there. Duracell, if you're watching, sponsor. So yeah, so like I said, eventually I'm going to get, for the short term, I'm going to get a battery tender, and we're going to just have a battery tender hooked up to this thing to keep the battery charger. I do have a battery charger. I'm actually loaning it out that does AGM, absorbed glass mat batteries, so that'll be cool. Then eventually I'm going to get a charging coils, that's what they're called, charging coils, and a flywheel that'll go into the onto the engine, and that way when you're driving around it'll be charging itself. And then I might even get tail lights, and heck, I might figure out turn signals. That'd be cool. Probably not. Alright guys, that's it. The rain just stopped. I think the sun's trying to come out. Hopefully we'll get some good weather and I'll start riding again, because I got teased with some good weather and I was riding, and it's not happening. All right, you guys, take her easy. Man, I was watching the footage back. I just wasted all this tape. I didn't heat shrink these. Ah, I'm an idiot. Where's my lighter? Did I lose it? I cleaned up the shop and I can't find my lighter. So I gotta heat shrink these. God, I'm stupid sometimes. Alright, so let me heat shrink all these and retape it. I'm not gonna make you watch that. Ah, I was doing so good. I only made one mistake. Okay, 2 more to go. Alright, now the video's over. Whoa! That's the cops.